He's ultra, so ultra. He's American, very American, and he plays tabletop role-playing games. TTRPG. He's the ultra American TTRPG. Yeah, so fucking ultra American. Yeah, he's American. Yeah, he's American. It's solo time, you drop the dime, so come on in. Let the show begin. We've got you covered, it's game day, brother. And sisters too. Have we got an ultra show for you? He's ultra, so ultra. He's American, very American, and he plays tabletop role-playing games. TTRPG. He's the ultra American TTRPG. Yeah, so fucking ultra American. Yeah, he's American. Let's solo because YOLO, and you don't wanna be some bro ho, you know. Yeah, you fucking know. So let's go. On with the show. He's ultra, so ultra. He's American, very American, and he plays tabletop role-playing games. TTRPG. He's the ultra American TTRPG. Yeah, so fucking ultra American. Yeah, he's American.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode, or excuse me, another session of the Bordeaux Bastards, a Syndicate solo RPG series. I am once again the Ultra American TTRPGer, aka the Jim Jones of Classic Gaming, aka everyone's favorite Aryan Tiefling. Oh man, it's been a while since we last did this session. Again, I promised I would try to do these at least once a month. And I'm probably going to have to start pre-recording these probably going forward because my hotspot decided to be a piece of shit! And so, as always, in case for those of you who do not know what we are doing, this game requires me to use two materials in order to play this by myself. Let me get my other camera on really quick and I will show you. So make sure, sorry it may take a minute for it to load up sometimes, so give it a minute. Okay, oh, there it is. Okay, so, well, first off, of course, we need to be using the Syndicate RPG Mafia role-playing game book, which is by Tiny D10 and Mr. Big himself. Mr. Big uses the Tiny D10 system to put this all together, and if you want to learn more about the Tiny D10 system, go back to one of my earlier videos where I actually talked to Aaron, the creator of the Tiny D10 system. And we also use my favorite solo supplement that I like to use, the Ultimate RPG Solo Toolkit by Silver Nightingale. This is actually the newest version, 2.1. So I just got this printed out today, trimmed off the edges, and now it is all good to go. And you can find this on itch.io. You can purchase the POD of this off of Transfer RPG. Links will always be in the descriptions of my videos for these products. So let me get this back off. Now, as you can probably guess, I am kind of leaning more towards doing the PNG tuber kind of thing, just because it's something I've always been interested in, something I've wanted to do. I just kind of was hesitant at first because of all the VTuber drama that can usually happen around it, but I decided, well, fuck the drama, basically. And so, you'll still see my face every now and again in, like, maybe some pre-recorded videos, maybe some shorts here and there, but other than that, I will be just doing it like this. And as you can see, I got images that will move between the show when I'm talking, when I'm not talking, and when I am talking, because I didn't want it to have like just vibrate and shake all over the place, but it moves kind of slightly gently whenever I'm talking, so that way you know when I'm talking. So, where we last left off with session 2 was our little new party, the Bordeaux Bastards, had gotten a job from a and hold on, of course I don't have my notes on me. I should have those. Yeah, they gotten a job from the Frenchman Axel Bousson, a French artiste, in which he hired the help of our party to acquiesce some paintings that were brought into the country by not so legal means. When they arrived at the docks, sometime later that night to pick them all up, they came across a gunfight where the Irish mob was going up against the Russian mafia, and they were blasting away at each other. Guns were drawn, the fight ensued, and eventually, after killing off some of the Russian mobsters that were there, the rest ran away. Aaron, two of our main characters, Aaron Mosley and Caden O'Griffey, I think it was Caden O'Griffey, let me double check here. Yeah, Caden O'Griffey were both ended up hitting 0 hit points, but were eventually brought back to by Luisa Rubino using a first aid kit to bring Caden back up, and then Aaron Mosley, being the tough son of a bitch that he is, was able to just kind of wing it through and recovered. And so, and so we continue from there. They got the paintings, took them back to Axel Bousson, and were each paid $100 for the completion, and we got some experience points for it too. I'm imagining that I'm basically kind of ruling that at the end of every main mission, if it's a success, they get 10 experience points at least, unless it's something more may be given depending on the situation. But as of this moment, they are just getting 10 experience points. But once they reach 100 XP, they can level up excuse me, lost my words there for a minute. They can level up their crew basically and gain some more benefits. And so, after taking some time to recover, they are figuring out what the heck is going on with this new drug that has been making the scene, because that's been still a thing. They were trying to figure out who was behind it, but they weren't quite sure. Although there is some, they do have the suspicion that the Haitian gangs, the ones that kind of detracted from the black mob, may be back on the rise and trying to establish a foothold in New Bordeaux again. So, let us see what we're going to do. So, let's ask the Oracle: Is the Haitian mob trying to establish a foothold again in New Bordeaux by selling these new dangerous drugs in the street? We're going to do 50-50, so we just roll a d6 and see what it gets us. Alright, so a 3 is a... this will be interesting. This is a no, but... Alright. So let us roll for the... let's roll a action and theme to see what we get on this. And I got these tables right here in the book. So I roll a d6 and a d12, and we see what it gives me. That's not d16, that's not what I need. So 4 and 11, that is control. Control defeat. So this was making me think that maybe the Russian mob is possibly the ones trying to get the foothold in New Bordeaux. They have arrived with this new drug to put it all together. So let's roll for a change of a scene and an event seed. So rolling d6s for these. Foreshadow a threat for a change of the scene. And the event seed is a challenge. Okay, yep, I think I know what we're going to be discussing now. So, this conversation will take place during the time the party is recovering from the gunfight. Caden and Aaron are both basically in this room in the Irish mob territory, and they're in beds next to each other. As Louisa, I keep forgetting these Irish names. Luisa and Romano Rubino, the Italian the Italian mafia twins, are talking to one of the Leo Driscoll and a couple of the Irish mobsters that were there during the gunfight when this was all going down. And they're trying to figure out, like, why was the Russian mafia there? We thought the Haitians were kind of being the ones kind of behind all this. And that is when one of the Irish mobsters that was there during the gunfight will say, the Russian mafia came in not too long ago. They have been trying to maintain a foothold in the city, and we believe they are the ones responsible for this new drug that has been going on. And they're looking around to each other, and they're like, but then what does the Leo Driscoll's like, yeah, but it was the Haitians that came to me trying to ask about selling it. So I guess let's ask the Oracle then. I'll say this is kind of unlikely, but are the Russian mobsters and Russian mafia working with the Haitian mob to try to push this drug out into the city? We'll call it unlikely, so I roll 2 dice and take the lower. No. So this is a no. So on a 1, it's a no and. So no and. So they're not only not working with the Haitian. So the Russian mafia is not only not working with the Haitian mob. I think the Haitian mob probably stole these drugs from the Russian mobsters and have been selling it on their own turf, trying to get their own cut up from it instead of working with the Russians on it. So this is going to be interesting. So this could be more like, we'll say one of the Irish mobsters, same one that was there. I'll have to come up with a name for him later. We'll call him, actually, let me go ahead and pull up a fancy name generator and see if I can get another name for this Irish mobster. Get a pen, open a fancy generator. Yeah, I have a few apps on my phone I use for this kind of stuff every now and then, and it just really comes in handy sometimes. I like to use it for come up with names for people and places. So, okay, here we go. This other Irish guy is Sonny O'Dugan. So let me write this down really quick here. Sonny O'Dugan. That is quite the Irish name if I had ever heard one before. I love that I grabbed a blue pen and all the stuff on this paper I'm writing is black. See, like there's all black ink, and then I just wrote in blue ink, and it drives me nuts. Anyways, so Sonny O'Dugan says to the others, from what I've been hearing on the streets, the Haitian mob stole these new drugs that they've been selling from the Russians themselves. So they've been going at it with each other for a while now. And Kate and Aaron and Caden just kind of look at each other and they're like, oh shit. This is not what we need now in New Bordeaux. It's like Lincoln Clay hasn't even been in power for that long. The last thing he needs is to worry about another freaking all-out gang war. The last thing we need is for him to come out on the streets to try to deal with it himself. That's never a good thing. And Luisa and Romano they shiver a little bit at the name Lincoln Clay. Because, again, they're part of the Italian Mafia. They've heard the stories. They're quite familiar with what Lincoln Clay did to the Marcano family. And how he just eliminated them all. And so, they're like... Romano's like, if the Russians are the ones responsible behind all this, we need to come up with a game plan and figure out how to take them down before it gets any worse. And Luisa's like, well... It's like, you expect us to go up against a gang that we know absolutely nothing about. And Aaron's like, we can, but we have to be smart about it. But it's like, and I trust you, Luisa, to be able to help us out with this. So, now we're going to do, this isn't really a heist, but we're planning a gang war right now, at this moment. So let me see, going through the... There's a thing in here about heist and planning, so let me see if I can find it in this book again really quick. Oh, and of course they all have they all have that reputation point back, because since they're a level 1 low profile little crew, they get some reputation points, and it costs them time. So I think I did that right. I'll double check that later. Here we go. Kind of pulling off jobs here. So let us see. Alright, so we need to gather intelligence first. So the first thing we need to do is we need to figure out what exactly these Russian mobsters are doing and where they are basically holding up at. So let us see what we're going to do. Who would be the best person for this kind of job to figure out where the Russian mobsters are being located at right now? So we have let me see here. Trying to remember, these stats are so weirdly named that sometimes I don't understand quite what they are. So aspect is, what does aspect mean? A measure of consciousness and charisma, intellect, a measure of mental acuity and sharpness. Would this be trying to using the charisma to get to know information, or would it be using your wits to try to figure out what's going on and where they're at? I'm wondering. I'm sorry, people. I'm trying to think of how I want to do this. I think this is going to be Romano probably going out and just using his natural charm to try to figure out what is going on. So I'm going to roll a d10, and we will see. Let me see what DC this would be. What would the DC be for this? Let's call this a moderate. So let's call this a... Well, it's weird how they determine. They don't have set deals. It has this for moderate. It's T6 to 9. So I'll say if he gets anywhere between. So let's call it let's call it in the middle. Let's call it an 8. If he's able to get an 8 on this, Romano will be able to come across something when he goes out, probably within the next few days or so. So let us make that roll. Oh, that's a nat 1. So, I think this is going to be a complication. So let us see. I think this is a. So let us do some changing of the scene again. So, changing of the scene. 5 is a difficult choice. The event seed is an opportunity, though. But let's see what the action theme gives us for this complication that will arise from Romano probably asking too many questions. So the action on the 2 and the 5, that is restore. 6 and 12, restore legacy. Huh. Oh. This is gonna get interesting. Romano is probably maybe a day or two after all this is going on, while Caden and Aaron are still kind of recovering so-so. He is going around trying to talk to people. He's asking questions, trying to figure out this stuff about the Russian mob. Let me pull up a name for an Italian guy now, because I think I know how exactly this is going to play out. Let me say, okay, so if it's odd, it's a woman. Or no, odd man, even woman. Will this be a man or a woman? Okay, it's a man. So let me see a name. Give me a good, Okay, here we go. An Italian man, Marino Longo. It's Marino Longo. Marino Longo. So this is Italian. I'm writing it down here really quick so I don't forget the names. And let me ask, we'll just make this like a yes or no question. Is Marino Longo like some sort of like high-ranking person in the Italian mob? Okay, that is a yes on a 5. So Marino Longo is pretty much like kind of almost the equivalent of a made man, I would say, in mobster terms. So, as Romano is going around asking questions, he comes across Marino Longo, and we will see, and he has been part of the probably Italian mafia for quite a while. He's probably an older man, probably not too much older than, yeah, probably maybe like 5 years older, we'll say, than Romano. And Romano's trying to figure out kind of what's going on. He's asking, "Hey, Marino, have you heard anything about the Russian mobsters kind of making their way into the city?" And Marino's kind of, he looks around, and he's like, "Hey, meet with me later this evening. I'll be able to show you some stuff that I know about with you." And let me make a what would this kind of check would this be? Let me make it. He doesn't have an intellect, but I think this would be. Is he smart enough to realize that this could be a trap? Again, we'll make this moderate, so he gets like maybe a 7. No, Romano is unfortunately not smart enough to know that this could possibly be a trap. So, does he tell his twin sister Louise about this on the Oracle roll? Oh no, that's a no. And so we'll just call that a no. So no, he does not tell her about this new information. So we'll say time passes later in the evening, the same day that he met Marino. And so hold on, I'm trying to people blowing up my phones here. So now the question is Marino working with the Russian mob? Actually, no, we'll say with what we rolled that he is working with the Russian mob. Now, the question is there going to be Russian mobsters there? No, that's a straight no. So there are no Russian mobsters. But we'll say there's like maybe a few of the other, like maybe some other Italian guys in this room as they go to like maybe like a back room of a pub somewhere. Not Perla's, or yeah, Perla's was the one that's in the hollow. No, this is like probably a little pub in the Italian district that they control, and it's Marino, Romano, and maybe a couple other guys. And Marino is like, so we are actually, the three of us and a few others in the Italian mob have been working secretly with the Russians. And I think what would the Romano's reaction be to this? I'm curious. I think there should be a reaction thing in here. Let me see if I can find it again really quick, because I may just roll to see how he tries to react to this, if he does. Oh, here we go. So 2d6. His charisma. Yeah, I try to see. So this will be his aspects. We'll see how he visibly reacts to this. Okay, so Romano is putting on a straight face, or he's putting on he's like, huh, interesting. But inside he's probably like, ah, shit, this can't be good. And kind of thinking about Marino is going to explain that basically they don't believe that the Italian mafia has been getting their fair share and proper cuts ever since Lincoln Clay killed off the Meccano family and took over control of New Bordeaux. And so this little subsect of the Italian mafia is decided, hey, let's work with the Russians, see if we can regain control, and then we can cut them in and then we can give them a percentage of the cut, so that way we're not having to worry about them later on down the road. And they're sharing this with Romano because they think that they can trust him. And Romano, he's pretty concerned about this. And so he's playing along, he's still okay. And do they ask him to join in on their cause? I'll say it's 50-50, rolling a d6. 4 is a yes, but. So what would be the yes, but thing that they're trying to do? Let me see. Change of the scene, or actually let me roll on the action theme again here. See what they would ask him to do. A d12. So 3 and 8 is change. 1 and 6, change leadership. Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. I think I know exactly what they're going to want him to do. It's like, so Marino's like, Romano, we would love for you to join us, but you have to do something first. You need to get rid of that Irish prick, Caden O'Malley. Or was it? No, Caden O'Griffey. Not Caden O'Malley. Caden O'Griffey. And, let me roll a reaction check again for, Romano to see, does he keep a straight face, or is he going to start flipping out on them? So it's 2d6, adding his +2 aspect, because it's supposed to be like charisma. Okay, so inside his head, Romano is eternally screaming, but outside, Romano is just putting on a straight face, and he is just like, I'm not sure how well you want me to do this, but I will see what I can do. And Marino believes him with that high reaction check that I rolled for Romano. Hold on. Let me, I'm checking something here really quick. Uh-oh. Sorry, everyone. I'm double checking my program I'm using for my avatar here, really quick, making sure it's still working. Come on. All right. Everyone, give me 1 second. Uh-oh, this stopped working too. What the hell? Oh, nope, never mind. It's back again. Did I? Dang it, it stopped working on me. Give me 1 second, everyone. I will be right back. Okay, I'm back, everyone. Sorry about the technical difficulties there. So right after that meeting that Romano had with Marino, Romano, he leaves slowly from the pub, waits till he gets like a few feet away, and then runs off down the streets back to Louisa to figure out what the heck is going to go on. And so we'll say that next day, they're all meeting again, and Romano is filling in everyone about what Marino had told them, and Louisa is just like, son of a bitch, why can't people just let things be for once? And Aaron's just like, this is not good. There are people from your family that want to start a gang war in the city after we just got done with one like years not too long ago. It's like, it's like they want the death wish. And Caden's like, yeah, and don't expect I would let you put the bullet to the back of my head so easily either. And Romano's like, I'm not gonna kill you, Caden, but we need to figure out a way around this. We either need to fake your death, or we need to come up with a new plan of some sort to try to figure out what the heck is going on. So, let us see. So we got another plan. So, how do we want to do this? So we don't want to send Caden O'Griffey out because if he tries to go out, he may get caught into trouble. Romano, he's already done something, so I don't want to do anything with him. We'll say Aaron is still in the process of recovery right now, so I'm not going to do too much with him at the moment. So the only one who could really do anything is Louisa. So what are we gonna happen now? Let me roll for a change the scene and an event seed here again, really quick, and let's see what it gives us. Change of the scene. Difficult choice. Event seed. A conflict. Yep, this is going to be definitely tied into what's going on. So, here's the question I have now. Let me ask the Oracle. We'll say this is 50-50. Does Louisa have a boyfriend? Because I'm saying if these people are all like they're in like their they're all in like their earlier mid-20s. So does Luisa Romano or Luisa Rubino? Is it Rubino? Yeah, Luisa Rubino. Does Luisa Rubino have a boyfriend? No. No, she does not. So she is a single lady, just kind of strutting around. So I think that she could use this to her advantage. So we will say the scene will change to the club that, if you have played the Mafia 3 game, that Lincoln Clay meets Sal Marcano at. It goes to that country club. And Luisa, she's kind of dolled up a little bit. She's looking nice. And let me see here. Is Marino going to be at this club? We'll say 50-50. So he's not. So no, and. So he's not only at the club. What is happening? What is being? Is something being furthered here? Is the question. I'm trying to think here. Man, there's so much happening right now. It's crazy. We got the Russian mob possibly being the one behind the drugs. We got the Haitian mobs that stole from the Russian mobsters, trying to figure out what the heck is going on there. Then we got someone in the Italian mafia trying to basically kind of restore the old order from what it was to what it was before. So there's a lot going on. So no Marino that isn't there, and what is the and? We'll say, what is the and? No and let me see what the event seed will give us, because it did say conflict. Okay, I'm gonna roll a d6, and this is gonna be the one. I have a gang chart here. That's because it's 6 gangs. You have the Black Mob, the Irish Mob, the Italian Mafia, the Russian Mob, the Triads, and the Mexican Cartel. So a conflict happens with one of these gangs at this country club. Let's see who it's going to be. Okay, so there's someone else from the Italian Mafia here. Okay, this will be interesting. We'll say this is Luisa and Romano's father. What will his name be? Oh, I like this. Gustavo Rubino. I like that. So let me write this down really quick so I don't forget it. Gustavo Rubino. That literally popped up under Italian names when I just did it on my fantasy name generator. So this will be interesting. So Gustavo Rubino, Luisa and Romano's father, sees her there, and she's like, it's like, Luisa! And she's like, ah, shit. And Gustavo kind of walks in. We'll say he's like this big, portly of a man, almost godfatherly like, in presence and appearance almost. And she's like, what the hell are you and your brother up to? I hear he's been asking questions about Russians? And she's like, Father, I can explain. And he's like, that. I don't want to hear your excuses, young lady. We are trying to maintain peace here in this city after everything we've all been through. Do you want Lincoln Clay to come after us like he did the Marcanos? And Luisa's just kind of like, no, Father, I don't. And Gustavo's just like, good. Now give your dad a hug. And Gustavo and Luisa will hug, and he's like, come, there's someone I wish for you to meet. Let's see. Okay, let's roll out the gang chart again. Let's see who we get. So who does Gustavo allow her to meet? Someone from the Black Mob. Okay. Let me find some names here. Let me get some American names here. Okay, here we go. So, a band from the Black Mob. We'll say... Writing this down, this is Noah Atkins. Okay, got that down. Now, is Noah Atkins a high ranker? Is like someone of high ranking in the Black Mob? Yes, he is on a 5. So definitely probably someone that's like above Aaron Mosley more than likely, because Aaron Mosley is more the muscle than anything else. And so let us think here. So Gustavo leads Luisa into like a private room, and sitting at the table is a well-dressed African-American man, kind of slicked back hair. I almost want to say Sammy Davis looking. Let me look at what this Sammy Davis looked like, because that's the kind of the image I'm thinking of in my head. Let me Yeah, definitely Sammy Davis Jr. looking. That's how I'm picturing him in my mind's eye right now. And so Gustavo leads him in. It's like Luisa, this is Noah Atkins. Noah, this is my daughter Luisa. And Noah is like, he smiles as he stands up, and he's like, well, I do say, you have such a lovely daughter, Mr. Gustavo. And he does that thing where he takes her hand and he places a kiss on it. Luisa kind of blushes a little bit at this, and then Gustavo's like, "Ah, yes, she is the one of my pride and joy, along with her twin brother." And Noah's like, "Twin brother, you say? That wouldn't happen to be that rascally Romano fellow that I keep hearing so much about, is it?" And this causes Gustavo to be like, "Ha ha ha, the one and only. He is quite the troublemaker, unlike Luisa. Luisa's the smart, intelligent one of the two." And Noah's just like, "Oh, I bet she is." Again, and Luisa, she just chuckles and blushes slightly. And what are they actually going to talk about? What is the reason that Gustavo and Noah are meeting? What would the Italian mobsters be doing with someone from the Black Mob? Let us see here. Action and theme. 6 and 9, so this is adapt. 6 and 5. This is adapt chaos. Huh. Yeah. Okay. So it kind of makes sense with this, because I'm thinking of because the chaos would be in this case, like, because this is back during when things were still kind of segregated in some areas and all that. So I think this is going to be we've been discussed. So Gustavo and Luisa sit back down. So does Noah, and Gustavo says to Luisa, Mr. Atkins here and I have been discussing changes to our club attendance. As you know, it's like, as you know, my daughter, times are changing. No longer is it acceptable to have separate rooms and places in our society just because of the color of our skin. It's like, and Noah's like, yes, times sure are changing, my good man and woman. Soon, it's only. Sorry, losing my words here again. I say it's about time that we all adapt and work together for a change. I mean, after all the chaos of what Sal Marcano tried to do to the Hollow and the rest of New Bordeaux, it's only fair that instead of us trying to fight against each other, we all work together. We all gotta live and eat after all. And Gustavo's like, and I absolutely agree with you. And we'll say like a waiter walks in, places some drinks in front of all of them. Gustavo grabs his and lifts it up in the air, and he's like, "Here's to a new tomorrow." Noah and Luisa will also raise their glasses, and they both say, "A new tomorrow," and all three clink their glasses together. Okay, so, man, we got a lot going on here. So again, just to remind everyone what's going on. We've confirmed that the Russian mobsters are the ones that are actually selling this new drug that's taking over the streets. The Haitian mobsters stole some of those drugs from the Russian mobsters to sell for their own profit, and now they're fighting against each other in that regard. We got a subset of the Italian mafia that is trying to trying to bring back the old order from what it was when Marcana was in charge, and they want Romano to prove their loyalty to him by killing Caden O'Griffey. And now we have the Italian Mafia and the Black Mob possibly working together to try to kind of bring about better peace and better order in New Bordeaux. So, kind of a bunch of different turning wheels here. So I think, I say we will do one more thing, because we kind of did stuff with, the problem with that I have is I don't want to do anything with Caden, because Caden could easily get caught up in this if he steps out. So we'll say another day passes. Aaron is now kind of healed up. He's doing well. Let's see. Let us roll change the scene in an event seed form. What happens with him? So 5 is, again, a difficult choice. 6 is the past. This will be interesting. I'm going to ask a question to the Oracle, but I'm not going to say what it is, because I want to see if this has happened or not. I want this to be a surprise if it goes in my favor. We'll say this is kind of unlikely that it could happen. There's a chance it can happen, but it's unlikely that it could happen. But I'm curious to know. Okay, so no, it does not happen. The question I was thinking about. So, but let us roll again, action and theme, to see what's going to happen with Aaron. 2 and 8, change. Change virtue. Actually, let's rewind this a bit. We'll say that instead of Aaron going another day and having Aaron, we'll have Aaron join the scene that's currently happening with Luisa Rubino. So we watch as we see as a more kind of patched up, healed up Aaron Mosley walks into the club because Noah Atkins invited him over. And the servant shows him to Noah Atkins' room, and when Aaron steps in, he sees at the table Noah, Gustavo, and Luisa. And as soon as Aaron and Luisa lock eyes, just kind of like oh, okay, this is different. This wasn't expected. And Aaron and Luisa look like, and Gustavo kind of clocks that. Noah also clocks that, and Gustavo's like, "My daughter, do you know this man here?" And Luisa's like, "Yeah, this is Aaron Mosley. He's a friend of Romano's." And Gustavo stands up. What is Gustavo's reaction to this? Let me roll reaction check for him here. So 2d6. An 8. So he's pretty neutral towards Aaron Mosley, probably because because more of like he's a friend of Romano's than anything else, because Romano's such a troublemaker in his eyes. So, but Gustavo will stand up and he'll hold his hand out to Aaron, which he will take, and he's like, any friend of my children is a friend of mine. So Gustavo's gonna be friendly for the moment. And Aaron's like, Gustavo Rubino, I heard a lot about you from your son. And don't worry, all good things. And that actually gives a chuckle from Gustavo. And he's like, yes, I bet he has. And then Noah waves up, kind of gestures for Aaron to come sit down by him. He's like, Aaron Mosley here is a fine asset for the Black Mob. It's like, he does such a wonderful job. He enforces whatever needs to get done. So if you need some muscle, you need some extra help, this is the man for the job right here. And Noah just gives him a big old bap on the back, kind of a big old slap on the back. That kind of makes Aaron go, ugh. But still at the same time, he's like, yep. It's like, that's what I'm good for, muscle and all. And Gustavo's like, that's always good. So it's like, sometimes I've learned when you can't use the brain, the brawn is always the next best thing to go. And Gustavo will have a waiter bring another drink, and they will converse throughout the rest of the night, with Louisa and Aaron kind of giving strange looks back and forth to each other every now and then, feeling how the awkwardness of it being with parent and associate meeting up kind of deal, but that's how it is. And so I think, okay, so I've done almost everything with everyone so far. So Oracle question, does anything happen with Caden during this time after he heals up? 50-50. So no, nothing happens with Caden. So we'll say Caden is able to rest up, heal up, and does not get involved in crazy shenanigans or get into trouble during this time. And I think this is where we are going to stop this session, because I gotta figure out what the heck is gonna happen here. So again, another refresher and reminder of what's been going on. The drugs that have been brought into the city has been confirmed to be brought in by the new Russian mobsters. The Haitian mob stole these same drugs also from the Russians and have been selling them for their own profit, which is causing them to fight against each other. There is a subsect of the Italian mafia that wants to restore the old order and is one to invite Romano, but first Romano has to gain their trust by killing Caden O'Griffey, which he's definitely not going to do. And then last, we have the Italian Mafia and the Black Mob working towards basically peace negotiations in a sense for a brighter day in New Bordeaux. And so I think with that, that will be the end of this session 3 of the Bordeaux Bastards and for the month. So what's going to happen next time? Will they be able to stop the Italian Mafia, the subsect of the Italian Mafia, from trying to take back over? Can they quell the temperaments of the Russians or the Haitians? Or will the city explode once again into chaos and violence? I guess you all will find out during the next time we play another session of the Bordeaux Bastards, a Syndicate RPG solo series. Thank you all for listening. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You can also follow me on Rumble as well if you're not watching this on YouTube. And if you're watching this on Rumble, you can also subscribe to me on YouTube as well. And if you're following me on X, just look up the Ultra American TTRPGer, at Ultra TTRPGer. Again, thank you for listening, and you all have a wonderful day.